This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
My father was well known to the best circles in this kingdom, as in that of Ireland, under the name of Roaring Harry Barry. He was bred, like many other young sons of genteel families, to the profession of the law, being articled to a celebrated attorney of Sackville Street in the city of Dublin. And, from his great genius and aptitude for learning, there is no doubt he would have made an eminent figure in his profession, had not his social qualities, love of field sports, and extraordinary graces of manner marked him out for a higher sphere. While he was attorney's clerk, he kept 7 racehorses, and hunted regularly both with the Kildare and Wicklow hunts, and rode on his grey horse Endymion, that famous match against Captain Punter, which is still remembered by lovers of the sport, and of which I caused a splendid picture to be made, and hung over my dining-hall mantelpiece at Castle Lyndon. A year afterwards he had the honour of riding that very horse, Endymion, before his late Majesty King George II at Newmarket, and won the plate there, and the attention of the august sovereign. Although he was only the second son of our family, my dear father came naturally into the estate, now miserably reduced to £400 a year. For my grandfather's eldest son, Cornelius Barry, called the Chevalier Born, from a wound which he received in Germany, remained constant to the old religion, in which our family was educated, and not only served abroad with credit, but against his most sacred Majesty King George II in the unhappy Scotch disturbances in '45. We shall hear more of the Chevalier hereafter. For the conversion of my father, I have to thank my dear mother, Miss Bell Brady, daughter of Ulysses Brady of Castle Brady, County Kerry, Esquire and J.P. She was the most beautiful woman of her day in Dublin, and universally called the Dasher there. Seeing her at the assembly, my father became passionately attached to her, but her soul was above marrying a papist or an attorney's clerk, and so, for the love of her, the good old laws being then in force, my dear father slipped into my Uncle Cornelius's shoes and took the family estate. Besides the force of my mother's bright eyes, several persons, and of the genteelest society too, contributed to this happy change, and I have often heard my mother laughingly tell the story of my father's recantation, which was solemnly pronounced at the tavern in the company of Sir Dick Ringwood, Lord Bagwig, Captain Punter, and 2 or 3 other young sparks of the town. Roaring Harry won 300 pieces that very night at Faro, and laid the necessary information the next morning against his brother. But his conversion caused a coolness between him and my Uncle Corny, who joined the rebels in consequence. This great difficulty being settled, my Lord Bagwig lent my father his own yacht, then lying at the Pigeon House, and the handsome Bell Brady was induced to run away with him to England, although her parents were against the match, and her lovers, as I have heard her tell many thousands of times, were among the most numerous and the most wealthy in all the kingdom of Ireland. They were married at the Savoy, and my grandfather, dying very soon, Harry Barry, Esquire, took possession of his paternal property and supported our illustrious name with credit in London. He pinked the famous Comtessonin behind Montague House. He was a member of White's and a frequenter of all the chocolate houses, and my mother likewise made no small figure. At length, after his great day of triumph before his sacred Majesty at Newmarket, Harry's fortune was just on the point of being made, for the gracious monarch promised to provide for him. But alas! He was taken in charge by another monarch, whose will have no delay or denial, by death, namely, who seized upon my father at Chester races, leaving me a helpless orphan. Peace be to his ashes. He was not faultless, and dissipated all our princely family property, but he was as brave a fellow as